Irving Yalom's quotes and psychological insights. 1. The therapist must be fully present for the patient, not as an expert dispensing answers, but as a fellow traveler on the journey of life. Yalom emphasizes the shared humanity of the therapist and the patient. Instead of the therapist being a distant expert, they are a fellow human being confronting life's challenges together with the patient. 2. We cannot live fully until we come to terms with death. One of Yalom's central ideas in existential psychotherapy is that coming to terms with death is essential for living a meaningful life. The awareness of mortality motivates people to find purpose and live authentically. 3. Isolation is a central theme in human existence. Despite close relationships, we are ultimately alone. Yalom highlights existential isolation, the realization that no matter how close we are to others, we are fundamentally alone in our experience. Accepting this isolation is key to developing deeper relationships and a stronger sense of self. 4. The desire to transcend isolation and have a meaningful impact on others is an essential part of human nature. Yalom believed that although we face existential isolation, we have a deep need to connect with others and make an impact, which gives life meaning. Relationships are essential for overcoming feelings of isolation. 5. The therapeutic relationship is the crucible in which healing occurs. Yalom emphasized that the relationship between therapist and patient is central to the healing process. Therapy works not only because of techniques, but because of the genuine connection and shared emotional experiences between the two. 6. It's the relationship that heals, not the techniques. This quote encapsulates Yalom's belief that authentic connection and trust between therapist and patient are more important than any specific therapeutic intervention. The therapeutic relationship itself is healing. 7. We are meaning-seeking creatures. When we cannot find meaning, we suffer. Yalom's existential approach to psychotherapy focuses on the human need for meaning. When individuals fail to find purpose or meaning in their lives, they experience existential distress, depression, and anxiety. 8. Guilt is the price we pay for our freedom. Yalom sees freedom as a central existential issue. With freedom comes the responsibility of making choices, and guilt often arises from the consequences of these choices or the awareness that we could have chosen differently. 9. The therapist must not be afraid of their own vulnerability, for it is through their vulnerability that they are able to connect with the patient. Yalom encourages therapists to embrace their own vulnerability and humanity in the therapeutic relationship. Being open and real with patients allows for deeper, more meaningful therapeutic connections. 10. In the end, it is not death we fear, but the fear of not having lived fully. Yalom argues that the fear of death often masks a deeper fear of not having lived a meaningful, authentic life. Confronting this fear can help individuals prioritize what truly matters. Psychological insights. 1. Existential psychotherapy. Yalom is a leading figure in existential psychotherapy, which is based on the idea that human beings face certain existential givens: death, freedom, isolation, and meaninglessness. These are unavoidable aspects of life, and how individuals confront and manage these existential realities determines their mental health and well-being. Yalom's therapeutic approach helps individuals confront these challenges and live more authentically. 2. Death anxiety. One of Yalom's most well-known ideas is the importance of death anxiety in shaping human behavior. He believes that much of human anxiety stems from the fear of death, whether consciously or unconsciously. Therapy involves helping individuals come to terms with their mortality, allowing them to live more fully and authentically. 3. Existential isolation. Yalom explored the concept of existential isolation, which refers to the fundamental solitude of human existence. Despite deep relationships with others, each person is ultimately alone in their experience of life and death. Yalom emphasized that accepting this isolation is essential for developing meaningful connections with others. 4. Freedom and responsibility. Yalom emphasized that with freedom comes the responsibility of choice. Individuals are free to make choices, but with that freedom comes the burden of responsibility and the guilt or anxiety that may follow. Therapy helps individuals confront the weight of their choices and accept the responsibility that comes with them. Number 5. The search for meaning. Yalom believed that a core aspect of therapy involves helping individuals find meaning in life. People often suffer when they are disconnected from a sense of purpose. Through existential therapy, Yalom helps patients explore what gives their lives meaning and how they can live in alignment with those values. 6. The here and now. Yalom emphasizes the importance of focusing on the here and now in therapy. Instead of dwelling solely on past experiences, he believed that the therapeutic relationship itself is a living moment that can reveal important insights. By attending to the immediate dynamics between therapist and patient, healing can occur in real time. 7. Group therapy. Yalom is a pioneer in group therapy, where individuals can explore existential themes within a group setting. He believed that group therapy helps people see their common humanity and allows them to work through feelings of isolation, develop insight, and form meaningful connections with others. The group serves as a microcosm of social interactions, offering insight into how individuals relate to others in everyday life. 8. The therapeutic relationship. Yalom believed that the therapeutic relationship is the most important element in psychotherapy. He focused on authenticity, mutual vulnerability, and shared human experience between therapist and patient. The therapist is not a distant figure, but someone who engages with the patient on an emotional and human level. 9. Transience and living fully. Yalom's existential approach encourages individuals to confront the transience of life, that life is short and death is inevitable. Instead of leading to despair, this awareness can motivate individuals to live more fully, prioritizing what matters most and making meaningful connections with others. 10. Guilt and regret. Yalom explored how guilt and regret arise from the choices individuals make in life. The existential perspective holds that people are free to make choices, but this freedom brings the potential for guilt if they believe they have made the wrong choice or failed to live up to their potential. Therapy involves helping individuals process these feelings and accept their choices. 11. The therapist as a fellow traveler. Yalom rejected the traditional view of the therapist as an all-knowing expert. Instead, he promoted the idea of the therapist as a fellow traveler, someone who, like the patient, is facing the same existential dilemmas of life, death, and meaning. This shared human experience creates a more egalitarian therapeutic relationship. Irving Yalom's work centers on the existential challenges all human beings face, including death, isolation, freedom, and the search for meaning. His focus on the therapeutic relationship, authenticity, and the importance of confronting existential realities has shaped existential psychotherapy and influenced how therapists engage with patients on a deeply human level.